Konnichiwa, another quick follow-up video. This is one of my DE10s. It's actually DE10 1207 there, which has been, as you can see, thoroughly dismantled. It suddenly occurred to me, look, these are only ever going to really run with this set, even if they're running as a pair. It's not going to hurt for one of them to be a dummy. So, take the motor out. Okay, so I took the motor out. I finally got down to that point. The motor sits in there. It is quite a sizable beast, and yeah, definitely not a cordless one there. But then the trucks here, the bogies here, had a worm gearing. Obviously, that won't spin with the wheels in, with the wheels in place again. It won't let, with that there, it wouldn't let it spin because it needs to turn the gears below in the actual unit there. So to take that out, so now I'll get it reassembled, and then we'll look at fitting the headboard that we didn't do last night. Okay, and this bit has appeared, and I don't know where it's come from, so we're going to find out as we put it back together again if there's something missing. I think I can see where it's come from, actually. No, I can't. Anyway, I'll try and put it back together. We're not going to bore you with the actual process this time, because it's going to take me some time to think about how I did it. So, got it mostly back together now. It's a bit of a fiddle to do that, but just popping the last wheel in here. So the traction tyre, we want it to actually be on the opposite side to the so now it's closest to me. The one on that side is that one there, so pop that in there. And the nice thing is, of course, that because we've kept the gear drivetrain in, they're all turning. And it's literally a case of picking that up, because I've kept the orientation correct, and there are arrows. You might just be able to see one this end, you see, shows the front. So it's literally the case of popping that back in, make sure it's all secure, and now our unit is turning. Okay, so we now have a rolling chassis. I had to bring this one in to see, because initially when they went in, the bogies were a bit tight, so I was like, oh, hang on a minute, how much travel should they have? A lot more. Now, the headboard goes at the long end, the long bonnet end here. So, I don't want the LED here, so I'm going to actually just attempt to remove that. And I think it's going to be a case of using the clippers or something. I could get the soldering iron and try and desolder it, but I think just chop it away. And that way, the power's only going to go here. First off, I'm just going to test that the lights light up. Well, the important one does. And the one we're going to get rid of does as well. But that's the only one we want when it's going the other way. Excellent. Of course, this would be a great advantage to DCC, but if I turn the power up, turn it into backwards now, nothing. Forwards, we get the light. So a great advantage to DCC would be the fact that you'd be able to just turn that light off rather than having to cut it away. But hey, the solder pads are still there. If I want to reattach LED, I can do. This is entirely, everything I've done is entirely reversible, so you know, that's the big bit. But it's going to be more useful having it being able to be at the back of this train here, particularly for the exhibition in April, I believe it is, the NEC one. Yeah, and also for future layouts. I mean, even the shuttle on the shunting that I was talking about potentially could use this now once this project's done. Right, back to the video. I know, a 40-minute video and 43-minute video actually, as I glance at the time. 43 minutes and 40 seconds to be precise. And we're still working on SL Hitoyoshi. However, you know, this is all done in real time as well for that bit. So yeah, so now you can see I've got the DE10 back together. We're on quite happily. and it's time just to fit the headboard to this end. Okay, so put that to one side for a minute, because we need to get these parts out here. Okay, so this will end up being that way up, and then we make sure that we get this the right way up. There as well, which, okay, so again I'm going to use my hobby knife to simply find the groove and cut it away like that. Okay, now take it off camera for a little bit of cleanup, just to make sure that's nice and smooth on top. There we are. And then the same for this. Just find the groove and you get a nice clean cut like that. Okay. So now comes the awkward bit. Oh, just throw the tool at the camera at the phone. Hopefully that wasn't too loud. So, right, you see it shows it this way up. Yeah. The tool, oh, hang on, you can't see a tool. Remembering the camera's actually over here would be useful. So with the tallest bit at the top, excuse me, just trying to pick this up. And on SL Hitoyoshi the headboard goes this way up. Just actually go into there. I have to do this off camera just for a second whilst making it all lined up for me. I'm not actually that confident about that staying in. Right, you have to give me a second because I'm not comfortable about that staying in. It should just press fit into that slot. Right, I actually end up doing something I don't like doing, which is introducing a little bit of the Tamiya extra thin before being able to fix it in place. It took a couple of attempts because it didn't want to sit straight, but now that is the unit assembled, so it's just something to be aware of. And now we can pick this up, in theory. Oh, you're a one. You're a one. In theory, we can pick this up and place it over the railing here. So that sort of just slots on the front like that. Now, again, it's against my usual preferences and wishes, but I'm just going to introduce a little bit of extra thin cement. It should just run into the gaps there. Do a little bit on both sides just to try and hold that in place, because at the end of the day we don't want that falling off and running around the floor of the NEC. Okay, let's go and see how that performs on the actual train. Well, I'm happy to say a total success. SL Hitoyoshi there making its way around the layout. The locomotive doesn't seem to be struggling at all. 10. So I thought it was getting to that corner and just slipping and slipping and slipping, so yes. So now let's simulate it coming to the end of the trip for SL Hitoyoshi and making the return departure. Sorry about that. Making the return departure. So comes the train. Not shaking all the time. Oh, you know what? It helps when you use the right control, doesn't it? So just wait for it to come around again. But yes, it's been. I'm glad it's been a success. This. It's nice to have a steam engine that sort of operates on an end-to-end layout as well without having to run around. So yeah, here we go. So. Okay, excuse me. Okay, so we pretend everyone's boarded and everything come off. And there we are. Seems to be struggling a bit more to push it in reverse. But it could just be the corner. But otherwise, I don't think you'd realise. Yeah, that's quite right, that one. It should be right for the little in and out, because it's a straight run on Inshenka. It should be right in there. Okay. There we are, just bring it to shot. Right, well, I should say, arigato gozaimashita, take care all, and sayonara. See you in the next one. Bye.